Serena, engrossed in her battle with the shredder, growled at the machine. Though a clip held her toffee brown hair away from her neck, strands of it had come loose. She blew them away, but they fell back onto her cheek. I sauntered up behind her and laid a hand on her ass, moulding my fingers to its shape. "Need a hand?" She jerked, letting out a sharp squeak, and popped upright to glare at me over her shoulder, squinting her grey eyes.
"Ugh, you! I'd hoped Evan was kidding when he said you were coming in for a job interview today."
Her lip curled slightly every time she spoke to me. I'd gotten used to it. Oddly, her disdain for me made me want to shove her skirt up and have her on the desk. She slapped my hand away.
"I don't need a hand from you. Ever."
Liar. I knelt and freed the scrap of thick paper that had gotten stuck in the shredder, then snapped its top back on and straightened. "There, it's fixed." With her brows furrowed, she contemplated the shredder. I patted her bottom. "You can thank me later, when we're naked." The lass growled at me this time and pulled away from my touch.
"Sit down and shut up. I'll see if Evan's ready for you yet."
Sighing, I ambled over to the quartet of chairs placed against the wall opposite Serena's desk. I dropped onto one of them. To my right lay the door to Evan's office. His executive assistant settled her bum onto her chair and wheeled it forward until her legs were tucked under the desk. She eyed me, her lips puckering.
"Why aren't you wearing a tie? This is a business meeting."
"I don't like ties." I'd worn a suit, but with a kilt instead of trousers. The plaid was cut from the MacTaggart clan tartan, the blue and green pattern belonging to my family. Women loved me in a kilt, but naturally, Serena had to be combative instead of admitting she liked it. The lass punched the button on the intercom on her desk.
"Evan, your 9 o'clock appointment is here. Should I send—"
She threw me a sharp look.
"Your cousin into your office yet?"
Evan's voice resonated through the intercom. "Yes, Serena, I can hear your scowl. Do try to be polite and professional." The humour in his tone was unmistakable. One side of Serena's mouth twisted upward.
"Yes, sir, Mr. MacTaggart, sir."
I raised one brow. "Do you always talk back to your employer?"
"Evan doesn't care, and he's being snarky anyway."
She waved toward the office door.
"Go on. Get out of my sight as quickly as possible."
I walked to her desk and leaned in to level our gazes. "You've missed me, haven't you? Don't worry. I plan on seducing you soon. How's tonight for you?" Her lips compressed. A breath hissed out of her nostrils, and she flattened her palms on her desk.
"I hate you."
I tapped the tip of her nose. Hate and lust often go hand in hand. Without giving her a chance to respond, I marched into Evan's office and shut the door. My cousin relaxed in the chair behind his desk, one elbow propped on the chair's arm, twirling a pen between the thumb and forefinger of his raised hand. "Have a seat, Logan. I'm glad you finally took me up on my offer." "I'm humouring you," I said as I sat down in one of 2 chairs positioned in front of his desk. "I've even adopted your absurd tradition of wearing a kilt every Monday. Whatever job you mean to offer me is a farce, I'm sure. You and the rest of our cousins have developed an unhealthy obsession with meddling in my life." "What farce do you think I'm acting out?" "One that I'm sure involves getting me married off." I braced my ankle on the opposite knee, a pose that would have seemed inappropriate if a woman had been in the room, considering I was wearing a kilt with nothing on under it. "I'm not the marrying kind." "That's what I thought about myself until I met Keeley." I made a rude noise. "Ever since the MacTaggarts started marrying Americans, all of you pod people have decided I need to be initiated into the cult." "Make up your mind. Are we alien pod people or cult members?" "Both. Aliens took over your bodies and formed a love cult." "I'm offering you a job, not a wife." He dropped his pen and folded his hands over his belly. "Serena is bonny, though." On the inside, I was growling and glaring at Evan,